Hello everyone and welcome to ServiceNow Guy. I am Gunjan Kiratkar and I hope you all are doing well. So today we will learn about the localization within the ServiceNow. So what I mean by localization, I mean we can learn about the translation within the ServiceNow. So currently whenever we open the ServiceNow instance, then we can see everything is in the English language. So but in many other countries they only use German or the Spanish or any other language which they prefer to speak. So we can actually translate the ServiceNow instance in their local language as well. So how exactly we can do that and what will be the agenda of this today's video? So we will cover the plugin installation, the main tables for the translation, then the translation debugging and the small demo on the translation as well. So before going for installation to the plugin, we can first visit this doc site of the ServiceNow official site, and we can check how many translations are available here. So as you can see on my screen, there are around 22 languages are available. And currently, suppose if I wanted to translate anything on the Spanish language, so I can just copy this from here. This is actually the plugin name, and whichever language you wanted to translate, you can directly copy this plugin name from here. There are different plugins for the different languages. So now I wanted to translate it into the Spanish language, so I am copying this name from here, and I can go to the plugins in the application manager, and if I search with this name, then you can see that the plugin is already installed within my instance. But if you wanted to install any other language, for example, I'm copying this name, Russian translation, and pasting it here. Let me search. Then you can see that now this Russian translation plugin is not installed in my instance, so that's why it is appearing here. So if I click here and click on this install button, then it will also get installed. But currently I wanted to only translate into the Spanish language. That's why I have installed that Spanish language translator plugin. So this is all about the plugin installation, and after that we will move ahead with the uh, main tables for the translation. So which are main tables present within the ServiceNow, which we can use for the translation actually. So if you again navigate to the docs within the ServiceNow, then you can see here few tables are mentioned. This is the sys underscore translated table, sys underscore UI underscore message table, sys underscore documentation table, sys underscore translated underscore text table, and sys underscore choices table. So mainly these five tables are involved in the translation. And let's go to the ServiceNow instance. Let me show you here as well. So if I copy any name from this table and let me paste it here. So basically, suppose if I wanted to translate any field labels, then I can use this table, and you can see that here we specify here as EN. EN means the English language. If I specify here as a ES, then that will be the Spanish language. So each language is having its own prefix. So we have to use that prefix and specify here on which language we need to translate this particular element. So based on this element, it will also recognize this language as well, whatever we specify here, and then it will translate that, but it will not automatically translate. We have to provide our own translation. So whatever translation we wanted to provide, we can provide in this label, plural, and if you wanted to translate the hint as well, then we can provide in the hint section. I will cover this part in the later. So I just wanted to show you any one of the table, how exactly it look like and how exactly we can translate any of the label within the service now for any table. But always keep in mind that these five tables are very important in order to translate anything within the service now. So keep their name in the mind, or you can visit this link as well. You will get everything within the ServiceNow docs, how exactly we can translate on which table we have to use for what translation. So you can refer this link. I will paste it down this link into the description section as well. And now you might have questioned that, hey Gunjan, how exactly I will get to know that on which table I need to translate what. Suppose if I open any incident table from here, then suppose I wanted to translate this number or the channel or the state, then how will I get to know that okay, this number will get translated from any one of this table, from this is documentation or this is translated. So how exactly I can choose this table? So you can see here the prefix are also mentioned for these tables. So what exactly you have to do is you can type it within the filter as a localization and then scroll down, and here you can see that the enable L18N debugging. So you can click on this button. So once you click on that, then just again open incident.list, and if you open any record, okay, so within the record you can see that uh, the prefix get added as a GMLD for all the fields. So you can directly compare this prefix with this prefix from the docs. So now you will get to know that okay, if I wanted to translate this number, category, year, incident info, then I will have to write down the translation within the sys underscore documentation table. I can't translate this any other table, so I have to use this table only. In the same way, if you wanted to translate any message which are appearing uh, at the opening or kind of the alert message or the confirm message, any message, then you have to use the sysui message table. So that will also get appear here whenever that message get populated, and you can use this debugging in order to understand that. So you can see here the msg prefix is available and this activity is one. So if you wanted to translate this, then you can check here that msg is prefix for this message table. So in order to translate that activities, you need to write down the entry within this table only. So this is how exactly you can use the debugging of the localization in order to understand in which table we can write down the entry in order to translate these things. I hope until now you will understand what exactly is the localization and the translation and how we can do that on which table, how we can identify exactly which field or which message to translate on which table. So now let's jump into the demo, how exactly we can translate this number and the category. So let me open that sys documentation table. In order to translate that, we need to navigate to the sys documentation table. So I'm just opening it. Let me duplicate this tab as well. Not here. Then you can click on the new button. Okay, we can search here the incident so that all the fields with respect to the incident will get appear here, and the name, backend name for the number field is I guess number only. So you will get here only one translation in the English. So now we need to create the another translation. So let me select here table as incident. Let me first stop the debugging. uh, disable this debugging, okay, so that we will not get any kind of confusion because of these prefixes. Incident. Then we need to check the Spanish translation for the number. Okay, so for that, let me open English to Spanish. So if I type here number, then we are getting into this Spanish translated text. So I just copied this and paste it down here. Then the backend name for the number field is a number, and the language will be the ES. This is the prefix for the Spanish language. If you wanted to write down any help text for that field, then also we can write it down here, and the hint text as well. Okay, so I'm just saving it. Let me navigate to the incident table. And when I open any record or at the list level itself, you can see that the number field is not getting translated into the Spanish language. So you might have questioned that how exactly we can switch between the languages. So in order to switch between the languages, you have to first open your profile. So let me duplicate this tab and click on my profile icon, and let me open my profile. From here, let me go to the default view. Okay. At the default view, you can see there is one field for the language, and if I click on that, then uh, you can see that we are getting only one language as the English language, but we have enabled the plugin for the Spanish. Then you might question that why exactly the Spanish is not available here. So in order to make that Spanish language available within this drop down, you will have to navigate to the language. Under the system localization, go to the languages and type here Spanish. Then you can see that the language is active false, so we need to make it as active true, and just to refresh this page one more time. Then you can see that the Spanish language is also available. So whichever language you wanted to enable, you can make that language as a true from the languages table. So let me save it. So now basically I translate my language to this Spanish. Now you might see some fields are already getting translated because the translation for the out of the some out of the box fields are already present within the table, and some are not available, so you need to make them manually translate. So you can see that this gets translated, this last name get translated, also these fields get translated automatically. So let me navigate to the incident, and if I refresh this form, then you can see that that number gets translated as we translate it into the Spanish. And if you hover on that number, then we will get the hint as well, whichever we write down the text into the sys documentation table. So in this way you can translate any field, any text message or anything which is present within the service now using that particular five tables. So you just need to navigate to these tables and try to translate the other things as well. If you have any questions, doubts, then you can ping me in the LinkedIn, or you can write it down in the comment section of this YouTube video. I hope you find this video as a helpful. Thank you so much. We will meet in the next video.